Wherever you are in the world, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Badminton Podcast, a community for badminton players by badminton players, proudly brought to you by VOLANT. We talk all things badminton and aim to inspire you to be better in your game and in life by celebrating the people and stories of our global badminton community, whether they be past or present professional players, social players, officials or fans.
We're your hosts, Jeff and Henry, and we love badminton. From the bottom of our hearts, we'd just like to say thank you to everyone who has listened to, shared, and been part of the podcast. It wouldn't be possible without you all. If you do enjoy our episodes and can spare just a couple of dollars each month, you can really help keep the podcast going by supporting us on Patreon. Just visit www.patreon.com/thebadmintonpodcast. We'll leave the link in the description.
Now, just a quick word from our sponsors.
As people who love badminton, we all know that it's not just about the sport itself. It's about the connections you make and the things that it teaches you as a person that you're able to bring to all of the other parts of your life. That's why we want to introduce you to the book Mirror of Magico, written by Al Liao, a former Taiwanese national badminton player who is as passionate about badminton as us. For those who love Harry Potter, you want to give this one a read, because Al has authored a fantasy story where 3 different characters with varying personalities go on a journey of adventure and learning, and they realize that things don't just happen to you, they happen because of you. And by being yourself and spending time in your dreams, you can conquer the evils and be the best version of yourself. So make sure you check it out. Mirror of Magico, written by Al Liao. You can find it in all leading bookstores, and we'll leave the link in the podcast description.
So today we've got a special announcement episode for you all, or a reintroduction. So we have Justine Villegas from episode 91, a national player from New Zealand whose series of unfortunate events made her a stronger and more well-rounded person. We also have Australia's own Gronya Somerville, who just returned from the Olympics in Tokyo. You can hear our episodes with Gronya as well on episode 12, 33 and 62. Now, the reason why they're on this episode of the podcast is truly something special. At the Badminton Podcast, we're always looking for more and new ways to share knowledge with the community, and the exciting news is that we'd like to share with you a new episode format with new voices and new perspectives, featuring none other than these 2 professional female athletes. So first of all, official welcome to the Badminton Podcast team, Gronya and Justine.
Thank you. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
So we'd love to hear about why you wanted to start recording podcasts in the first place and what your segment is called. So let's start with the name first, shall we?
Yes. So we have decided to call our episode Badminton Lights Out. So basically we want to lift the curtain and bring the audience and the listeners into what high performance badminton is like with the lights out. So behind the scenes pretty much. So that's how we came up with the name, and the acronym for it is BLOW, and we think that's funny to our immature brains.
Like BLO.
Yeah.
So why is blow funny to your immature brains?
Yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna blow things out of perspective, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can just be used in a lot of puns.
Okay, awesome. So when you say, I thought you meant like podcasting in the dark. So you'd be literally in the dark while you're recording episodes, which you're not today, but you might be later on. But like, what do you feel are the most like kept secrets behind the scenes or in the dark that people don't usually know about that you want to shine a light on?
There's a lot of behind the scenes, like, you know, people don't really realize how much training we do and like what issues we have to go through, and a lot of injuries that people don't really talk about, because a lot online is just like a highlight reel, you know? So this would be not showing our highlight reel, but pretty much covering both highlight reel and would you call it a low light reel? Where the lights are out?
Yeah. So basically like our high performance athletics perspective as well. And then,
Mm.
kind of going really into some details of topics that we think people might be interested in or that they might not fully understand as kind of a general badminton player.
Yep. I like the puns already. Low, light, real, and it's dark, right? We've got lots to look forward
We've
to.
got to save some for the episodes, Justine.
Yeah,
We can't use
yeah,
them all in the
you're
first one.
peaking too early, Justine. Just
No. I'm trying to make the bloopers for when we have our intro, then we put in our bloopers at the start, you know?
Okay, so you want to shine a light on the things that say people don't talk about, people don't see because you only see the glamorous bits about being an athlete, right? But is there another reason why you decided to want to start recording podcasts?
Yeah, because this is going to be our lockdown baby. I mean, have you even gone through a lockdown if you haven't started a podcast?
No, but basically, like, Justine lives in New Zealand and I'm in Australia or traveling most of the time. So we like to call each other once or twice a week usually, and we just talk about general badminton stuff anyway. And we just thought it'd be great to kind of bring others along for them to get insight into our conversations and our opinions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said before, we do want to cover a lot of topics that people can learn from regarding high performance side of the badminton, whether it be like different kinds of training, scheduling, tournaments, etc. Just a lot of things that people don't really notice. Yeah.
Yeah. The goal is to not only be educational, but also like lighthearted, casual, and easy to listen to, just like we're chatting with our mates.
Yeah, and I myself, Justine, I find myself asking questions to Gronya about what she does when she's on tour, and I find myself that I'm learning a lot from her. So the listeners will be like our third wheel throughout this whole process. They could be with us on this journey.
Yeah, and we want to give back to kind of the community, the badminton community that's given us so much as well, and also be a strong female voice and perspective within the badminton community. We can do anything guys can do, maybe even better.
Definitely. Definitely even better like this podcast than me and Henry, I think.
Yeah, sorry guys.
But that'd be awesome to hear some more, to get some more female voices in badminton, because as we know, especially in Australia where we are, and New Zealand, I'd assume, Justine, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong, that badminton is played more by males than females. So it'd be awesome to get some more females into the sport and show them how awesome the sport is to play for fitness, for fun, for friends, for competition. If you want to be competitive, there's so many ways that you can kind of incorporate badminton into your life. Now, coming back to into your life, and obviously Justine, yourself and Gronya, you're good friends. Like we can tell already. We know that you're good friends, but we haven't heard about how you actually met and why you get along so well, that you're in different countries, but you do still speak every couple of weeks. Oh, sorry, a couple of times per week.
Now, just a quick word from our sponsors.
The Badminton Podcast is brought to you by VOLANT. VOLANT was first born out of our frustration with the confusing, bright, and unsightly clothes and equipment that we saw in the badminton world. But now it's so much more than that. Our mission is to accelerate the growth of badminton by providing players with products that enhance their love for the sport. All in all, it's high quality gear that makes you look and feel great on and off the court. So make sure you check us out at volantbadminton.com and follow us on our socials at volantbadminton.
You put us on the spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just heard of you and then maybe we just said, hey, and then can't remember when we actually started talking, but I feel like the first time we actually talked, I was like, this is my person. Like, she gets me.
No, I think we met through Micah, your boyfriend. We met through Micah, your boyfriend. Yeah. And then it might have been Jump. I think we were at Jump one day and that's when we actually met. And I think Gronya really liked that I laughed at everything she said. So
yeah.
That's always a plus.
Give me all the laugh. Tell me I'm hilarious.
You're gonna have to clarify what is Jump, by the way?
Oh, Jump is like this place full of trampolines. So being Gronya, she did all the tricks and I don't know, she was just having the time of my life. And I personally was just laughing at myself, afraid of trampolines and height because I'm mini. So I was like, I'm not prepared to be this high. So I was already on high. So whatever Gronya said was funny. And I was just probably nervously laughing, making a fool of myself the whole time. So
Yeah, but we just can't become closer.
And at first, I was like the third wheel into Mike and Gronya's relationship, but now Mike is the third wheel into her.
She was like legitimately the third wheel. Like when I'd forget to get anniversary presents and stuff, I'd be like, bro, can you go pick up some flowers and like drop them at his house? And can you buy some chocolates and stuff?
This girl, she would message me. She was hectic. She'd be like, oh my goodness, today is our anniversary. Can you please get something? I'm like, Gronya, it's 3 p.m.
Or I'm like, I don't want to pay $150 for a flower delivery. Can you fit this into your schedule?
I'm like, fine. But it was good. It was a good trade because every time I was in Australia, brunch was always guaranteed. So it was good. It was good.
It had a good payback. Definitely sounds like it. Look, I think the listeners can probably tell that you guys are just so comfortable with chatting with each other, and they're going to extract so much, not just knowledge from these conversations, but I think they're going to get a lot of fun and entertainment as well. So kudos to you both, and I think you're going to be able to create something very entertaining. And I think we sort of covered off why you wanted to start the show and how you both met. But I guess it'd be good to get what perspectives you both come from, just by giving, I guess, a bit of a brief introduction about yourself. Justine, of course, we have episode 91 for listeners that can tune into if they want to know a bit more about Justine's story, and then the 3 episodes for Gronya as well. But yeah, it'd be great just for you both to just share a bit about yourselves and the perspective that you come from and that you'll be showing and presenting on your segment as well.
Would you like me to start? Oh, wait, he said my name, didn't he?
Whoever wants to go first.
Okay, I'm Justine and I'm from New Zealand. Now, I think my journey in badminton has been very different to a lot of people. So I started badminton when I was 15. So I think that's really late considering for like high performance. So I'm very, very happy and proud of the work that I've done, considering I'm starting at 15 and managing to be part of the national squad. And I think it'll be fun to share with everyone on how you can almost say speed up or like catch up with the high performance players. Like, I don't think I am even close to where I want to be yet, but like learning from Gronya and how that has helped me with my badminton career, if you can call it, I think that will be a plus for the listeners, I think. And yeah, I think the rest, if you want to know more, you'll listen to my previous podcast or you can tune in for more episodes. Did I answer your question? Because you have to tell me whether I'm not answering your question. Okay, good.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, me, I'm Gronya. I'm an Australian badminton player. So I compete on the World Tour circuit in women's doubles mainly and a bit of mixed doubles. I just achieved one of my life goals of going to Tokyo 2021 kind of Olympics. So yeah, I'm pretty much full-time badminton athlete and try and fit as much other stuff in around badminton as I possibly can. So yeah, just here for a good time, not a long time.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Gronya, but okay.
It just got real ominous.
So bit of quick fire because you're not prepared for this at all, and I'm just making it up on the spot. But Justine, favorite food, and Gronya, favorite food?
Pokeball.
Pokeball.
Is that lame?
Wait, salmon, tuna, like fish, or?
No, I eat tofu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you not a meat eater like Gronya?
This is a really weird topic. Well, because I mostly eat plant-based, but Dylan is like completely vegan. And being the Filipino that I am, sometimes lechon, here we go. But most of the time, 98%, I'm like vegan. But I can't call myself vegan because obviously I still eat pork and other meat. But most of the time I'm plant-based.
My favorite foods are ice cream and pizza.
Ice cream and pizza? Wait, vegan as well?
Both.
Meat flavored ice cream?
I'm a bit less vegan than Justine at the moment. Mike is a bad influence on me. Dylan's a good influence on her, and Mike is a bad influence on me.
I'm always saying Pokeball anyway because we're on lockdown and our lockdown has no takeaways. So I really miss Pokeball. Otherwise, it'll be Oreos.
I'm not sure. I haven't really had a tofu Pokeball before. Every time I go Pokeball, it's always salmon.
The raw salmon Pokeball.
Yeah. Raw salmon pokeball 100% of the time. Gronya's just like, nah, no.
Raw
no
fish
way.
isn't my vibe.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What's your favorite food?
Oh, that's putting me on the spot. You go first, Jeff.
Oh, I'd probably, if I was just going to say something out of it, I'd say pizza. I'd never say no to pizza, but I would also say no. I would never say no to Malaysian food as well. So like your kway teow and like chicken
Ooh.
rice and like your laksa, like,
Mm.
oh, so good. So fat when I get to Malaysia.
I'll
That's
head a
all I do.
different direction for Asia. I'd never say no to Korean food.
Oh, you like spicy?
No, not spicy, just Korean food in general.
Like K barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yeah, K barbecue,
So
kimchi,
meat.
like all the different kinds of stews. Oh, it's just so good, especially during winter.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Army stew.
So we'll have to save nutrition for one of the blow episodes. I think
For
you guys
sure.
will have a really fun time talking about nutrition. I'm just going to keep on theme with the quick fire questions now. So, if you had to sing one song at karaoke, what would it be?
Some Beyonce. Halo's a
From
good one, but
Beyonce.
it's like
Halo is the hardest
such a
song to sing
it's such a
to.
big range, but it's just so good to belt out.
Love Story by T Swift. That's a good one.
So
Solid.
good. And
Solid choice.
most people know all the words, I reckon.
Yeah. Or All by Myself. All by Okay, no, I'm not gonna
We
do
don't want
it.
to cry. We don't want to cry.
No, but karaoke always ends up going like it goes really, really happy, and then at one stage it goes really, really sad.
When the alcohol wears off pretty much and people get tired and they're like, why are
Yeah.
we still here?
I think it's more when
Yeah.
alcohol settles in more. You kind of like get on that high and then you're coming down from the alcohol and it's just like, oh, I'm sad.
Start texting their exes.
That's when Jeff brings out Confessions Part 2, Usher.
Oh, these are my confessions.
Now, Backstreet Boys all the way. Backstreet Boys for the win in
I
karaoke.
think we're gonna have to go karaoke with you guys. I want to see this.
Maybe we should have an episode where like
Oh,
not
God, no.
kidding.
No.
No,
Do not
nothing
let's-
online.
Let's just say no
Listeners
to that
do not.
already. But let's get back to some badminton topics. So let's go Gronya first, because Justine, you've been hogging the stage as the first speaker so far. What do you love about badminton? Why do you love badminton that you want to give back to the sport and you want to promote it and you want to talk about it on a podcast?
I think we can all agree that it's just like the best sport, the best game that there is. I personally really love that it has such diversity of players. Like you have these tiny Japanese against the huge Europeans. You can have, someone that's super fit and strong against someone that's like a little bit lazy but super skillful, and the tactics are a huge component. It's just got everything.
This is so true. I'd have to agree. Sorry if I'm stealing the limelight again. But if you guys have seen Gronya and I, we're like the complete opposite. I'm like net height and she's like giant. So I love how equal the sport can be in terms of everything, diversity, and also gender roles. I mean, women's singles can be just as interesting as the men's singles. Tai Tzu Ying, let's go, And I think in all across the events, we're all also paid equally, which I think is really cool that we don't see across a lot of the sports.
Yeah. And as a player, like it's so exciting to train because there's so many aspects you can work on. There's all the tactical sides, and then like physically, there's, the agility, the endurance, the power, explosivity, and then all the technical stuff. So being us who have been injured a lot, we've never been bored at training. There's always something we can feel like we can improve on. And even as you get like, world champion level, like Victor Axelsen, there's still so many other things that he can work on as well, because there's just always something to improve on.
Just a never-ending pursuit, which is I think one of the reasons why I love the sport so much as well, is just that there's always something you could do to get better, or there's always something you can learn, regardless of how good you are. So yeah, definitely appreciate your thoughts on that. Now, in terms of, I know we talked a bit about what we were going to expect from you both in these episodes. Why don't you give us a bit of a rundown on what we should expect from Blow? Like how long are these episodes going to be? What are you going to talk about? What's the first few topics that you, without obviously giving too much away, what are the first sort of key topics you want to discuss?
Well, firstly, this is Badminton Lights Out. So we're going to include, I think, a lot of bloopers, laughs, maybe some swearing. I try not to swear on like my social media, so maybe this is like literally the unfiltered version. I don't know if you guys have any limitations on us swearing, but beep, no. But beep you and your rules. No.
We wanted to dive into a lot of high performance badminton specific, but at the same time, we don't also want to like close ourselves into that. So we want to talk about some controversial topics that we feel have not been touched on previously. So it could be something you could look forward to. And we feel that the podcast could vary in ranges from like, I don't know, 30 to 45, 20 to 30, 45 minutes. We'll see. We'll see where the lights out take us.
I think you have to put a timer on with, I think that you guys will just talk. How long are your phone conversations usually? Just on that, as an average figure.
Probably like 30 to 45 because I only call pretty much when I'm driving to training, and it's usually like 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'm like, I got to training, gotta go, bye.
Or it could be like 5 minutes because my phone battery is always so bad.
That's very true.
I'm like, sorry, Gronya, I gotta go. I'm on like 1%.
I think we want to appeal to like different audiences as well. So we definitely want to try and get some guests on, exploring like the Asia versus Europe kind of thing, and then also appealing to, juniors who are coming through the ranks and how they can handle transitions, that kind of thing. So it'll definitely be a vast array of topics.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned before, we would also talk about, it would probably be known as like the boring side, but I actually find it quite interesting, or like the planning and how do you do your training, how it's all set up. So, and also listeners, hit us up on what you want us to talk about. Like and subscribe, drop a comment, follow the Badminton Podcast, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, very open to people's feedback, I think. And we give the people what they want. Love it. Okay, cool. So look, in terms of, where we go from here and what the listeners, how the listeners are going to keep in touch outside of the podcast, if they do want to send you feedback, at least at the start, where would you think that where do you want them to send you sort of comments and suggestions for ideas? I think you can go to our personal Instagrams as well as the Badminton Podcast. We're gonna help take over your social media a bit, I think. So we'll probably no.
I said
will we get the passwords?
A whoop whoop.
Yeah, so I think we'll be in the back end there, so we can see the questions there, as well as our personal. I guess Instagram is probably the biggest place for us. Gronya Somerville, and you're Justine Villegas.
Yeah, Villegas, Justine, easy. But yeah, the Badminton Podcast would probably be the easiest thing because everything would just have to be, podcast related, and we don't have to seep through our personal messages. So Badminton Podcast, go tell us what to talk about. I'll tell what you guys want to talk about with Henry and Jeff. So get it there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've got a challenge for you guys to get Caroline and Marion as a guest.
Oh my gosh, that'd be my dream.
Wait, do you think I can get her because we're going to be ACL buddies?
Yeah, I've always wanted to ask her out for dinner, like at a tournament, but I'm too scared. I'm like, do I need to ask your coach permission first? I don't know. I feel like she would just be like,
wait, what?
Maybe like nobody does this. What do you mean? I'll just like eat at a booth like next to her one time or something.
I feel like we might have to learn a bit of Spanish just to show that we respect her,
Make the effort. Make the first move.
Yeah, make the effort. I'm gonna make the first move. You're right.
Have you guys tried to get her on?
Yeah, we tried. We messaged a few people. I sent a message to Fernando as well, Fernando Ribas, but he didn't get back to me. It's tricky.
And we do keep tagging her in comments as well, just to try and get her attention, but unfortunately not. So if you're listening, Carolina, please come on to the podcast.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
I'll hunt down her number through the players. Come on a podcast, or I'm gonna keep calling you at 1 a.m.
Or when you go on tour and you just carry around your mic with you, be like, Carolina,
tell me, how do you feel in this bus ride?
Okay. All right, cool. So we're really pumped to have you guys take over the podcast for some episodes. So for all the listeners out there, you will hear from Henry and I still, whether that's good or bad, I'll leave that up to you. But you also hear from Justine and Gronya as well. And same thing. If you do enjoy their episodes, make sure you do let us know and share because I do think that they're going to bring a bit of a different spice to our podcast and lots of really good value. So Gronya and Justine, is there anything you want to leave the listeners with before we finish this episode?
Stay tuned for more.
Yeah, and stay safe. Wear a mask. Get vaccinated.
Boom. Health advice.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: we are not medical professionals in any way.
Disclaimer.
Actually, Jeff is. Actually, you both kind of. Is a vet a medical professional? It is, right?
I would say so. Yeah. I vaccinate animals, not humans. A little bit different. All right. Well, tune in for the next episode, guys.
Why are you laughing?
All right. Bye.
He's like, oh God, thank God we're not part of the next one. Get me out of this.
All right. I'm done. So from Henry and I at the Badminton Podcast, thanks for tuning in to this episode. If you've enjoyed it or found it useful, be sure to share it with your family, friends, teammates, and someone outside your badminton circle too, because with your help, we can show the world how incredible badminton is.
To keep up to date with new episodes and who we're interviewing next, make sure you connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at the Badminton Podcast, and on Twitter at the Badminton Pod. Feel free to contact us and ask any questions, give us feedback, or request topics for future episodes. We love hearing from you. And remember to check out and shop for your simple and minimalist badminton gear at volantwear.com. Catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.